Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय। नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर जी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for today's mid-morning session. Thank you all so much for joining. This is Shivani from Ashburn, Virginia. Let us move to the next part of the session. Today's class will be given by Her Grace Priti Vilasini Mataji on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Antya khanda, verse 3.76 onwards. May I know who will have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Priti, Dasi. Thank you, Mataji, for your services. Thank you, Uma Mataji, for the beautiful recitation.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Kirti Rasunji Mataji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve you all. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Welcome to the call. Anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Okay, we can chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for today's mid-morning session. Thank you all for joining. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. For me, either live or die, I don't mind. But if you are trying for my life, try it very seriously. That is my formula. No negligence. Vrindavan, October 3rd, 1977. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Priti Vilasini Mataji to enlighten us on the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad Antya khanda, verses 3.76 onwards. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Priti Vilasini Mataji, very grateful for your valuable time and association this morning. Very happy to have you on the call and waiting eagerly to hear from you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru and Gauranga ki Jai. And now I hand over the call to you. Please take over. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you for the opportunity. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, But before that, we will get started with the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवसादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas on the call. Vanchakalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. This is Chaitanya Bhagavat. We will offer prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायदाक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजभरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देव कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति जयति भृत्यस्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तेर्जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्. This is Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya khanda, chapter 3, verse number 76. Context to this chapter so far is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri. He was very anxious to take darshan of Sri Jagannath. And when he saw Jagannath in the temple, he fainted in ecstasy. The guards were ready to take him out, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very compassionate. He came near this wonderful personality who had fallen like this sannyasi, and he began to inquire about him. He saw that he still had life symptoms, and he could understand that these were ashtasatvika vikar, that is symptoms of ecstasy. He understood that this sannyasi is no ordinary person, and very carefully Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house and he began to care for him. Meanwhile, the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were searching actually for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they came to Sarvabhauma's house, and then they explained to him about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then asked Nityananda Prabhu and others to take darshan of Sri Jagannath, and Nityananda Prabhu was also extremely in a state of bliss actually when he saw the beautiful form of Sri Jagannath. And he was told not to faint like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was alerted. And then he received the garlands of the Lord, and they returned to the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. And eventually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained consciousness, right? We have seen all this. And after he regained consciousness, they started conversing. When they were conversing, we came to a point where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma were having a very intense conversation about why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas though he was so young. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was telling in various ways that you are practicing devotional service, so just continue to practice that. That is fine. It's a good thing. Just continue to do that. You're not matured enough to take sannyas. So he was trying to indicate that, and he was talking about the glories of bhakti. He was saying, yeah, bhakti is fine. Just keep doing it. Don't worry too much. You're not yet ready for sannyas. And because as an Advaita sannyasi, you have to give up a lot of things. He had already given up his shikha, his sacred thread, and he was ready in one sense to give up all the material entanglements of this world. But we should understand that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was already liberated. I mean, what to talk about liberation? He's the supreme personality of Godhead, right? So we don't even talk about liberation. He's the supreme Lord, but he has taken sannyas for a particular purpose. Why has he taken sannyas? He has taken sannyas so that he can deliver the whole world. He can deliver everybody. He can give liberation to everybody. That is the core reason why he took sannyas. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was looking at this entire process from a very mundane level, and as a senior person by age, he was trying to advise Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue to stay the way he is staying, and there is no need to take sannyas to chant the holy names. That was his intention. That was the conversation that they were having. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted, he smiled, but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now wanted to have a conversation with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started telling Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that I want to hear some nice topics. I want you to instruct me, he told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was thinking, why should I instruct you? It appears that you're a very advanced personality, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw the symptoms of ecstasy that was exhibited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was trying to control himself, and he said, there is no need actually for me to instruct you in any way. Now the Lord smiled when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was hesitating, but then the Lord's smile has so many meanings, and we have seen that already in the previous class. Now actually the Lord was going to bewilder Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya a bit. Okay, so that is the context that we have seen so far. And here is verse number 76. We'll try to do till maybe 112. Let's see how it goes. Sarvabhauma Bhalena Shrima Pada Tumi Shastra Mate Tumi Vandya Upasaka Ami. Sarvabhauma said, you are senior to me by ashram. So according to the scriptures, you are worshipable and I am to worship you. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are a sannyasi. Okay, so how can I instruct you and how can I give you instructions and how can you be trying to follow me? It doesn't work like that. You are senior to me in ashram. You are sannyas ashram and I am not in sannyas ashram. So according to the ashram, you are in a much senior position. So it is told in scriptures that the minute a person sees a sannyasi, immediately he has to pay dandavats. Okay, immediately. The minute you see a sannyasi, you should fall down, because a sannyasi is worshipable. Even to this day, we see that culture in our own ISKCON, where the minute we see a sannyasi, immediately we pay dandavats, right? So that is very essential, because they are at a much senior level in terms of consciousness. So Sarvabhauma said, you're so much senior to me simply because you have taken already sannyas. Though Sarvabhauma didn't like the idea that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas, still he was trying to respect out of etiquette. He was trying to show that respect that you have already taken sannyas. So by ashram, you are definitely senior to me. You are worshipable and I have to worship you. Why are you telling that I have to give instructions. I am a senior person. I have to, I am worshipable. Why do you say such things? So that was the question that Sarvabhauma had. Now in the commentary, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, Sarvabhauma said, although I'm elder and learned, you are superior to me in ashram. Yes, Sarvabhauma was elder and he was well learned. So he says, therefore, you are worshipable to me because you're in a higher ashram. According to the scriptures, I'm your servant. Therefore, I'm being offensive by accepting your humility and submission. Very nice, very, very humble state of mind. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Tumiye amare satva sthava kare yukti naya tahate amara pache aparadha haya. It is not proper that you offer prayers to me, for this will make me an offender. So he forbade Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from offering prayers. Prabhu bale chadamore sakala mayeshwara bhave the Lord said, give up all your deception. I have taken full shelter unto you. So the Lord told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't keep deceiving me like this. Oh, you are a sannyasi, you are superior. Don't say all this. All this is your deception. It is Maya. I have already taken full shelter unto you, so you have to instruct me. And purport, Gaurahari said, do not deceive me by speaking in this way, for I am your shelter. By performing such pastimes with his servant Sarvabhauma, Mahaprabhu did not allow him to know his true identity. Rather, he expressed a desire to hear from him an explanation of the Atmaram verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, of course, the Lord, He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead who's right here. But then He's told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that I have taken full shelter unto you. Imagine everyone takes shelter unto the Lord, but the Lord says, I have taken full shelter unto you. And actually, why did He say all this? Because He didn't want to exhibit His true form right now. He wanted to first have a conversation with Sarvabhauma and then He wanted to reveal His identity. Okay, text 79. हे नमते प्रभु भृत्य संग करे केला के भुजिते पारे गौर sundera leela. In this way, the Lord performs pastimes with his servants. Who can understand the pastimes of Sri Gaura Sundar? So sometimes the Lord likes to bewilder his dear devotees, and he's so much doing it in various ways. And especially here, we see how he's bewildering Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. प्रभु बले मोरा ये का आचे मनोरथा तुम्हारा मुखेत शुनि भान भगवता. So now the Lord said, He expressed His desire, what He wanted to hear from Sarvabhauma. The Lord said, I have one desire. So I have one desire. That desire is that Tomara Mukhete Shuniba Bhagavata. I want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from your mouth. So Shuniba means I want to hear. Manoratha is the desired. Nivedan means I have a request. And he says, I want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam directly from you. That is the request that I have. Eketa sannyasa chitte achaya amara tomai bai gulchai tehena naiya. You are able to remove whatever doubts I have. By hearing Bhagavatam from you, I will remove the doubts that I have in my mind. Sarvabhauma bhale tumi sakala vidyaya parama pravina ami jani sarvathaya. Sarvabhauma said, I know well that you are well versed in all fields of knowledge. Kona bhagavata artha na janava tumi tomare va kona rupe prabhodhiba ami. Is there any meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam that you don't know? How can I teach you? He's asking. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling Mahaprabhu, what is it that you don't know? You know everything. And what to talk of Bhagavatam? You know in and out of Bhagavatam. How can I teach you Bhagavatam? Tatapiha anyo anye bhaktira vichara karibeka sujanera swabhava vyabhara. Still, it is the nature of pious persons to discuss devotional service among themselves. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling Mahaprabhu, see, I cannot teach you anything simply because you are far superior in ashram. Secondly, you are very well learned. You are Nimai Pandit, you know everything, and you've also read the Bhagavatam. How can I instruct you from the Srimad Bhagavatam? You're already manifesting symptoms of ecstasy, and it will be inappropriate for me to teach you what Srimad Bhagavatam is telling. But since you're requesting, I will oblige, because after all, it is the nature of pious people to discuss devotional service among themselves. Krishna has also recommended this in the Bhagavad Gita. Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. He says in 10.9, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives is fully devoted to my service. And what do? They derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are always feeling satisfied and great bliss when they talk about me. Of course, when we get an opportunity to speak Harikatha among devotees, we immediately grab it, right? When we want to discuss some topics about Krishna, it is so blissful to talk about Krishna among devotees. So Sarvabhauma is telling, yes, you have asked me to speak. I will speak just because it is blissful. It gives great pleasure to talk about Krishna and discuss about Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.30, in the same lines, it is mentioned, Paraspanu Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavad Yashaha Mito ratir mitastushtir nivrittir mita atmanaha. One should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is utmost purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is actually the root cause of all suffering. So it is highly recommended that when devotees gather, what do? They discuss about Krishna. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was ready to talk, but he had a question. He said, भल देखे संदेहा तो मार को न स्थाने आचे तथा yata shakti kori bhava khane. He said, what particular verse do you have some doubt? I will try to explain if you point to a verse. Bhagavatam is like an ocean. How can I just generally talk something about Bhagavata? Shall we discuss about a verse? Do you want to point to some verse? Do you have a doubt in some verse? I will try to explain about that verse to the best of my ability. Okay. And let's see the verse that Mahaprabhu picks. 86. Tabe Shri Vaikunthanata Ishat Hasiya Balilena Eka Shloka Ashta Akhariya. Then the Lord of Vaikuntanath, smiled and he recited one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Everybody knows this verse? Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantapi urukrame kurvanti ahaitu kim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno harihi. All varieties of Atmaramas, those who take pleasure in the Atma or the spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. So this Atma Rama verse in Srimad Bhagavatam points towards which personality? For which personality was this verse composed? Question for interaction, devotees.
Shukadev Goswami.
Haribol, yes, Shukadev Goswami. It points to Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami was an impersonalist. He was already liberated. But then, after coming in contact with Sri Krishna and his Leelas, Kurvanti ahaitu kim bhaktim ittam bhuto guna hari. Our Hari's guna is so attractive that it can attract even liberated souls like these great Atmaramas. Atmaramas cha munayo nirgranti api urukrama. One can be an Atmarama, Muni, Nirgranta, and he can be anybody. He can be completely liberated. But then when he hears about the Urukrama's Leelas, the Supreme Lord's Leelas, he is immediately attracted to perform bhakti, hearing the great qualities of the Lord. So all different types of Atmaramas, especially those established on the path of self-realization, they may be free from material bondage, but they will try to do devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We know the story of Shukadev Goswami. How Shukadev Goswami, he was an impersonalist. Yes, at the age of, he just walked out. He was born, he just walked out of home. He was already on the path of liberation. But then the minute he hears verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, he gets attracted to the beautiful form and the qualities of the Lord, the external and the internal beauty of the Lord. And he goes back to his father's ashram to learn the Srimad Bhagavatam in great detail. Right? So this is the story of Shukdev Goswami. There are so many stories of other jnanis also, like the Kumaras. The Kumaras were already liberated, but when they smelled the beautiful fragrance of tulasi from the lotus feet of the Lord, their hearts melted. In later times, we have the story of Madhusudan Saraswati. He was a great impersonalist. But then he says, yeah, when I think of Brahman also, I'm looking at the blue light. Brahman reveals to me as a blue light. What is that blue light? That Krishna playing in the forests of Vrindavan. So he also becomes a personalist. So like that, we have so many stories of even liberated people who become the devotees of the Lord. They're just attracted by the beautiful glories of the Lord. So let's see what happened after this when he chose his verse. Saraswati pati gaura chandrena agrete rupayala gila sarva bhauma vakhyani the. Saraswati pati gaura chandar. So our Gaura Chandra, he is Saraswati pati. We have heard he is Shriyapati, right? We have heard he is Lakshmi pati. But what is the Saraswati pati? Yeah, he is even the Lord of Goddess Saraswati, Vak Devi. So let's see what the commentary is going to say. Then, in the presence of Gaurachandra, the husband of Saraswati, and by his mercy, Sarvabhauma began to explain this verse. Shri Vak Devi. Vak means what? Tongue, the language or the vibration produced by the tongue, speech, basically. Speech is Vak. So, Vak Devi, Shri Vak Devi, Saraswati, the goddess of speech, is mentioned in the Vajasaneya Samhita, quoted in the Govinda Bhashya 3340 as follows: Shris Chate Lakshmis Cha Patnyau. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri and Lakshmi are your two wives. Here, Shri indicates Shri Vakdevi. Okay, so that particular verse, even from the Samhitas and the Pancharatras, it is mentioned that Saraswati Devi is also the consort of the Lord. But then, how is she the consort of the Lord? In Narada Pancharatra 2364, it is stated, Saraswati Bharati cha yogena siddha yogini Bharati Brahmapatni cha Vishnu Patni Saraswati. Clarity is given in Narada Pancharatra. By the order of Lord Sri Hari, Saraswati Devi accepted two forms. In one form, she was Saraswati, the perfect mystic yogini, and in another form, she is Bharati. Bharati became the wife of Brahma, and Saraswati became the wife of Vishnu. That's why when we talk about Saraswati Devi, you must have heard this often spoken by devotees that there is the material Saraswati and the spiritual Saraswati. Have you heard this? People say in their classes. So in the material world, there is a Saraswati, and in the spiritual world, there is a Saraswati. That Saraswati, she is the consort of the Lord. Even now, if you see this famous Goloka chart, you can see in Vaikunta, there is a goddess of fortune whose name is Saraswati. She is Saraswati. She is the origin of the Saraswati in the material world. So if she is in the spiritual world, she is equivalent to the goddess of fortune, meaning she is the consort of the Lord. That is her original form. But in this material world, she expands. And here, to govern the what do you say, the reading, the learning, the speech, all that, she becomes, an expansion of hers becomes the wife of Brahma, and she guides people in various ways. That's why we had Saraswati Puja, right? 2 days back. The day before Vijayadasami is Saraswati Puja. So after worshipping Saraswati, finally we do Vijayadasami. So Saraswati Puja, what do you do? We all don't read on Saraswati Puja because the books are gone for puja. All of them, all the books are with in the puja, and everybody is doing puja for the books. Nobody is studying, and then the next day everyone begins to study on Vijayadashami. And this is all cultural. Okay, it's not something that we have to do. But I'm just saying it's a very cultural thing that in different parts of India, different things are followed. So what we were taught is Saraswati Puja, 1 day holiday from studies. Nobody studies anything. But then after coming to our wonderful movement in ISKCON, every day you have to study Shastras. Every day Bhagavatam class, every day you have to learn Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is no break from anything. But in those days, on 1 day in a year, we would wait when we don't have to study and touch books. And we would keep all the books in puja and not look at the books. So anyway, this is Saraswati. She blesses us with knowledge in this material world. But the original Saraswati is the consort of the Lord. That's why here, this Gaurachandra Saraswati Pati. Now this conversation is being having. We are having this conversation between Saraswati Pati and Sarvabhauma. Who's going to win? Who's going to know more? Obviously, Saraswati Pati will know more. So let's see what happened. Sarvabhauma balena shlokartaye Antya Krishna Pade Bhakti Se Sabara Mula Tattva. Sarvabhauma said. The true meaning of this verse is that devotional service to the lotus feet of Krishna is the original truth. He said, obviously, right? The verse is quite revealing itself. It's very clear that even liberated people are attracted to the beauty and the form of the Lord, glories of the Lord. Means what? It is revealing that devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord is great. It is the original truth. The actual purport of the Atma Rama verse is that Krishna, the object of worship, is the original truth of all. These persons were completely liberated from all forms of material bondage, are qualified to achieve devotional service to Krishna. The qualities of Krishna are very powerful. Those people who desire material enjoyment not related to Krishna are conditioned souls averse to the worship of Krishna. So even the liberated people, they get attracted by Krishna. So Sarvabhauma said that is the meaning. Sarvakala paripurna hayaye ye jana antare bahire yara nahi ka bandhana evam vidha mukta sabha kare Krishna bhakti hena Krishna gunera swabhava mahashakti. Those who are internally and externally always completely liberated from material bondage render service unto Sri Krishna. Such is the powerful influence of Krishna's qualities. Ittam bhuto gunohari. Okay. He's just expanding. He's telling in Bengali. He's just expanding the whole thing in simple words. That entire shloka that we saw, the translation we saw, that he's telling in simple words in Bengali. That's what he's doing. Hena Krishna Guna Nama Mukta Sabe Gaya Ite Anandarayara Seina Sayaya. Liberated souls sing the glories of Sri Krishna's qualities and names, while those who disrespect them are vanquished. Emata Nanamata Taksha Tolariya Tolaiya Vakhaya Kare Sarva Bhauma Avishta Hoya. In this way, Sarvabhauma put forth various arguments as he explained the verse with full concentration. So now he started to decipher the verse word by word and he started to explain it. After explaining the verse in how many ways? Sarvabhauma, look at this. We'll just do a little analysis here. Text number 94 I'll read and we'll see how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started analyzing the verse and he explained the verse in 13 different ways according to Caitanya Bhagavat. Trayodasha Prakara Shlokartha Vakinyara Hilena Ar Shakti Nahika Baliya. After explaining the verse in Trayodasha, in 13 different ways, he stopped and said, I am unable to speak this further. Keep this count in mind, okay? It is 13. Whose is 13? Sarvabhauma is 13. But when we see Chaitanya Charitamrita, we'll get a different number. We'll see that also in 2 minutes. After we see the section, we'll jump to CC and we'll go through this section. There is a little deviation. So now, according to Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is saying 13 different ways. 13. Let's continue Chaitanya Bhagavat only. We'll see the full section, then we'll jump to CC. Ishathasya Gaura Chandra Prabhukaya Yathavaka Nila Tomi Saba Satyahaya. Lord Gaurachandra smiled and he said, whatever you explained is certainly true. He was very pleased hearing the 13 different meanings of the Atmarama verse. Eba Shona Ami Kichu Kariya Vyakhyayana Bhujadiki Vichari Yayaha Ki Pramana. Now hear my explanations and decide whether they are authorized. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's telling, so far you have given 13 different explanations. Now I will give further explanations to this verse. So they're having Kathayantascha Mamnitim Tushyanticha Dharmanticha. They were having a discussion. So he said 13 different meanings. Now let's see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to offer. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, now I will give my explanations. And you tell if it is okay, if it is correct, my explanations are correct. They were having a nice dialogue. So let's see. थकाने विस्मित सार्वभौम महासाय आरो अर्थ नारे रशकीते kabunaya. Sarvabhauma Mahashaya became struck with wonder. He became Vismita. Thakane Vismita Sarvabhauma Mahashaya. He became so struck with wonder and he was thinking further explanations beyond these 13 explanations. They are beyond the ability of any human being. Because why? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was considering himself to be a great learned scholar. Of course, he was so well respected. He was very scholarly. He was thinking, I'm not heard beyond 13, nor can I find out more than 13 different meanings. How are you going to tell me more meanings? So he was struck with wonder. Can any human being find more than 13 meanings for this? He was thinking. But what do you think? Can Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go beyond 13? What count would you give Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Any thoughts, guesses? Wake up, knock, knock, everybody.
Of course,
Mataji,
he can go beyond 13. I know the answer, but I don't want to reveal it now.
Okay. Anyone would like to reveal it? No, we'll just do some guesswork. So, no need of Kirtana Mataji, others.
Mataji, I think 18. I'm not sure.
Very nice. Yes, 18 according to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very nice. Yes. Then later, after 18, what happened? Later, much later, not with Sarvabhauma.
Sanatan Goswami, 64, I think. Not sure.
61.
61. Okay.
Even I say 64 because that 64 number gets stuck to our head. So even I say 64 and Kirtana Mataji, it's 61. She'll be like, every time I say 64, she'll say 61. Yeah. Yes, it's 18. Okay. Let's see. Chaitanya Bhagavat, then we'll jump to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thakane Vismita Sarvabhauma Mahashaya Aro Artha Narera Shakti ke Kabu Nai. So Narera, the living entities cannot do more than this. But then Apanara Artha Prabhu Apani Vakyane Yaya Keha Kona Kalpe Uddhesha na jane. The Lord then explained the meaning in his own ways, which no one at any time could conceive. Kaurasundra is directly Krishna Chandra. Therefore, he knows the actual purport of the words that was spoken by Sri Krishna. Gaurasundara began to personally explain this verse in many ways without touching the 13 explanations given by Sarvabhauma. Note, Sarvabhauma and Chaitanya Bhagavat did 13. Any guesses how much in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Sarvabhauma? I know this is unnecessary.
9?
Huh?
9?
You're close. You're close. I think it was 8. Okay, but let's see. You're close anyhow. You got it mostly because you read a lot. You might know better. But we will do it in a minute. Okay. No living entity other than Krishna could ever conceive of such explanations. So Mahaprabhu did more than 13. That is what is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. वाक्यशूनि सार्वभौम परम विस्मिता माने भावे एक Kibi Aishwara Vidita. Sarvabhauma was astonished to hear the Lord's explanations and thought, is this the Supreme Lord? He was thinking when he heard. Because what did he just tell 2 minutes back? He said, no human being can go beyond this. But this personality in front of him, the sannyasi, innocent sannyasi, was able to give more explanations. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thought, is he the Supreme Lord? Why did he think so? Because already Gopinath Acharya had hinted. He had told him, don't take him to be ordinary. He's the Supreme Lord. It is revealed in the scriptures that the Supreme Lord will come in the age of Kali to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. And this is not different from the Supreme Lord. Because a human being cannot, first of all, exhibit all these Ashtasattvic vikars. This Gopinath Acharya already had indicated to Sarvabhauma, don't take him lightly, he's no ordinary sannyasi. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started thinking, God, nobody can do more than 13. If he's doing it, he's not an ordinary personality. Is he really the Supreme Lord? Okay, we'll find out if he's the Supreme Lord. शोक व्याख्या करे प्रभु करिया हुंकार आत्मभावे होइला सद्भुज अवतारा प्रभु भले सार्वभौमा की तोरा विचारा सन्यासे अमरा नहीं होया अधिकारा सन्यासी की अमी है ना तोरा चित्त लाया तोरा लागी एता अमी हाईलु नोदया बहु जन्म मोरा प्रेमेता त्याजिली जीवाना आता एवा तोरे अमी दिलून दर्शना संकीर्तन आरंभे मोहारा अवतारा अनंत ब्रह्मांडे मुनी वही नाही आरा जन्म जन्म तुम्ही मोरा शुद्ध प्रेम दासा आता एवा तोरे मुनी हईलू प्रकाशा. After explaining the verses, the Lord roared, he did hunkar, and manifested his six-armed form. The six-armed form revealed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sarvabhauma. And revealing his six-armed form, the Lord said, "O Sarvabhauma, what do you think? Am I qualified to take sannyas now?" He's asking because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was thinking, you're too young. You just do bhakti. Don't worry about sannyas. He was telling, right? So now he's asking, oh Sarvabhauma, what do you think? Am I qualified to take sannyas? Do you think I'm a mere sannyasi? I have come here for your sake. You have spent many lifetimes trying to attain love for me. Therefore, I am revealing myself to you. I have incarnated to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement throughout the innumerable universes. I alone am qualified. You are my purely devoted servant, birth after birth. Therefore, I have revealed myself to you. In the three words, I am alone qualified to take sannyas, the Lord said. And he also said, I just came for your sake. You are my dear devotee. To reveal myself to you is the reason I have come here. So much mercy by the Supreme Lord. Purport. By the word Mohara means my. Sarabama had said that since Gaurasundra was very young, he was not qualified for sannyas. In protest to the statement, Sri Gaurasundra displayed his six-armed form and said, I alone am qualified. Since you performed severe austerities for many lifetimes in your eagerness to see me, I have come to you in Nilachal. Innumerable universes are within me. You hankered for my affection, birth after. He's Brihaspati. Let's see. Now another brainstorming session. Six-armed form. What do you think the six arms are that were shown to Sarva? This. There's no right or wrong. I mean, we can just guess. Even I didn't know earlier.
Lord Ramachandra and Mahaprabhu himself.
Himself and Ramachandra. What does Chaitanya Charitamrita say? Okay, we will find out. We will find out what Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata are actually telling as far as it goes with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. 106. Sadhu uddhari mutushta vinashi musaba chinta kichu nahi tora pada morasthava. I will deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. Don't worry, just offer prayers to me. He's showing his form and he's telling, just offer prayers to me. I've come here to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. Apurva Shat Bhuja Murti Koti Surya Maya Teki Murcha Ghela Sarva Bhauma Mahashaya. That six-armed form of the Lord was most wonderful. It was as effulgent as millions of suns. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya lost consciousness in seeing that beautiful form. Vishala Karena Prabhu Hunkara Garjana Anande Shadbhuja Gaura Chandra Narayana. That six-armed form of Lord Gaurachandra then roared loudly in ecstasy. 109. बड़ा सुखी प्रभु सर्व भव मेरे अंतरे Uthabhali Srihastadi Lenatana Shire. The Lord was greatly pleased with Sarabhama and he placed his hand on the head of Sarabhama. Just like how Narasimhadev placed the hand on the head of Prahalad and he said, "Get up." In some editions of the following verses are added after this verse. And here is the explanation of the six-armed form. And we will also look through CC and we'll see if there is a match. Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Shri Hala Maushala Ratnamani Paripurna Shri Anga Ujwala Shri Vatsa Kaustubhahara Vakshe Shobhakare Vamakakshe Shringa Vetra Murali Chatare. The Lord held the conch shell, chakra, club, lotus, mallet, and plow on his 6 arms. His effulgent body was decorated with jewels and precious stones. His chest was decorated with Kaustuba jewel and mark of Srivatsa. A stick and horn adorned the left of his waist, and the flute was tucked in front. So, according to this, some editions, right? Here it is said that this six-armed form is nothing but a combination of the four-armed Vishnu and the two-armed Sri Krishna. Actually, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the form that is revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Actually, first the Lord shows his four-armed form and then he shows his beautiful two-armed form holding the flute. This is the total six-armed form that is revealed in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and in the commentary Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati points to that. He says in some editions the following verses are added after this verse. This is the editions of Chaitanya Bhagavat also, by the way. So in the editions of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the following verses are added. In this particular edition that we are reading, the exact six-arm form is apparently not mentioned in this section. But later we have heard, I don't know, Mataji can tell us, Tikda Mataji can tell us, because even I have heard of this Ramachandra holding the bow, and we have this very famous Vigraha of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shadbhuja Vigraha, right? He's got the bow and the arrow, and then he's got Kamandalu and all that, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So exactly which version, maybe Murari Gupta, I don't know. Someone can tell me. Mataji, if you know, you tell me, otherwise we'll try to find out. Keep it up. Mataji is not unmuting, but we'll find this later. Or if someone knows, you can tell, not just Mataji. One else knows also. Okay. But this is actually, there's interesting that there is a match between the two books, which I was very happy to find out. Because even I was thinking all these years, it is the form of Lord Ramchandra that we see with the Kamandalu of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the two-armed form of Krishna, that is the Shatbhuja. I was also imagining when I was reading through this chapter. But apparently, the added verses say that it is very similar to what is expressed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is four-armed form of Vishnu, followed by the two-armed form of Krishna with the feet. Okay. 110. Srihasta parashe vipra payila chetana tatapi anande jadana spruhe vachana. By the touch of the Lord's lotus hand, the Brahmana regained his consciousness and he remained speechless, stunned in ecstasy. Obviously, he's seeing the very beautiful form of the Lord. The Lord has touched him. And it didn't stop there. Imagine he received the touch of the Lord's lotus hand and he gets something else that is even better. Just hear this. Verse 111. Karuna Samudra Prabhu Sri Gaura Sundara. Gaura Sundara is Karuna Samudra. That means he's an ocean of mercy. What did he do? Pada Padma Dila Tara Hridaya Upara. Not only did he place his lotus hand on the head of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, this Gaura Sundara, who's the ocean of mercy, placed his Pada Padma, his feet, where? On Hridaya Upara, Tara Hridaya Upara, on top of Sarvabhauma's chest. That's it. Everything is cleared, right? Kalia, he got the touch of the Lord's feet on his head. Amoga got the touch of the Lord's hands on his chest. Now, this is a combination of the head and the chest. So, Sarvabhauma gets the touch of the Lord's feet on his chest. Wow, that's so amazing. He got double the maka. One is hand on the head and feet on the chest. On seeing the most effulgent six-armed form of the Supreme Lord, Sarvabhauma lost his consciousness. Sri Gaurahari, who had assumed the six-armed form, then placed his lotus feet on Sarvabhauma's chest. Pai Shri Charana Sarvabhauma Mahashaya Hoila Kevala Prarananda Prema Maya. Having received the touch of the Lord's feet, Sarvabhauma Mahashaya became completely filled with transcendental ecstasy. He tightly grabbed the Lord's lotus feet and cried in ecstasy while saying, "Today I have captured the thief who stole my heart. आजी से पाईनु चित्त चोरा बलि खंडे दृढ़ करी पद पद्मा दरि प्रेमानंदे आजी से पाईनु चित्त चोरा बलि कांडे." The thief who stole my heart, Chitta Chor. They have Chaurashtakam. He's Chitta Chor. The last verse says that he's the thief of my heart. So like that, Sri Gaura Sundara, he stole the heart of Sarvabhauma, and Sarvabhauma was tightly holding on to that feet and telling that today I have captured the thief who has stolen my heart. Got hold of him and captured him. Artanade Sarvabhauma Karena Rodhana Dariya Apurva Pada Padmarama Ramadhana. Sarvabhauma cried pathetically as he held those wonderful lotus feet, which is the wealth of goddess Rama, goddess of fortune. Prabhu Mora Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prananatha Muni Ada Mera Prabhu Kare Drishti Pata. Oh Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, my life and soul, please glance mercifully on this fallen soul. And he says, Tomara se muni papishi khai mukh dharma, na janiya tomara achintya shuddha marma. I am so sinful that I dare to religious principles. I was thinking about dharma, artha, kama, moksha. I was telling you, you are a young person. You should not take sannyas. Sannyas ashram is for older people. You will have to do this. You will have to do that. I was so sinful. I did not understand your glories. I am such a fool. हे नखे वाचे आचा प्रभु तोमार माया महायोगेश्वर आदि मोहा नहीं पाया से तुम्हें ये आमारा मोहिबे कौन शक्ति एबे देहा तुम्हारे चरण प्रेम भक्ति. He says, "O Lord, who does not become bewildered by your illusory energy, which bewilders even the best of yogis? So it is not at all astonishing that you have bewildered me. Now, please bestow upon me loving devotional service at your lotus feet." See, after everything, right? A person gets darshan of the Lord. A person gets the transcendental touch of the Lord. We see Dhruva, he received the transcendental touch of the conch of the Lord on his forehead, and he was inspired to beautifully chant prayers, though he was not able to chant anything being a young boy. We see how Prahlad, he got the transcendental touch of the Lord on his head, and so many other devotees, they got the touch of his hands, they got the touch of his legs, they were all relieved from the pangs of material attachments. And what do you do after getting the darshan and the touch of the Lord? You ask for some boon, but what is the standard boon all devotees ask? Please bestow upon me loving devotional service unto your lotus feet. All the devotees ask, I should never forget you. I should always remember you. That is the greatest benediction one may ask. And if you leave the choice to Krishna, like some smart devotees, they say, I don't know what to ask. I leave the choice to you. You tell me what is good for me. The Lord will also give only this. He will say, okay, I will give you bhakti. You will never forget me. Why? Because that is the greatest benediction. Whether it's the Lord's choice or it is a Parama Bhagavata's choice, it is always give me devotional service. I should never forget. And here Sarvabhauma says that. I should never ever forget you. And in the commentary, we see how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that it is very difficult to understand the nature of the Lord. The Lord can bewilder anybody. The Lord can bewilder anybody. That which the mind cannot know, through which the mind is considered known, know that to be the supreme, not what this world reverses. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Mukyanti yat surayah. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. We know 1.1.1, the very first verse of Bhagavatam talks about the uh, uh, effect of the Lord. This Maya of the Lord, it can bewilder anyone. The same thing is revealed in so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. Very famous ones are Canto 7, Prahalad's prayers, and Canto 10, Brahma's prayers. So even these great Mahabhagavats, they have also told us that actually the Lord's Maya is very, very difficult to overcome. He can bewilder anyone. But out of his causeless mercy, out of the causeless mercy of on Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the Lord has revealed himself to him, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was surrendered to the Lord at this point in time, he asked for the right benediction. Okay, he asked for the right benediction to always remember the Lord, to always stay in bhakti, to always be in devotional service. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Shachi Punyavati Garbhajata. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Lord of my life. All glories unto you who have taken birth from the womb of the pious Shachi. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sarva Prana, Jaya Jaya Veda Vipra Sadhu Dharma Trana. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the life and soul of all. All glories to the protector of the Vedas, Brahmanas, saintly persons, and religious principles. Sometimes we want verses, we want to learn verses to glorify the Lord. These are beautiful verses. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Punyavati Sachi Garbhajata, Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sarva Prana, Jaya Jaya Veda Viprasadu Dharmatrana. Like that, you can chant beautiful verses in glorification of the Lord. Jaya Jaya Vaikuntadi Lokera Ishvara, Jaya Jaya Shuddha Sattva Rupanyasi Vara. All glories to the Lord of all the Vaikuntha planets. All glories to the best of the sannyasis, whose form consists of pure goodness. Okay, so we'll stop there at 121. And from 122 onwards, we are going to see the beautiful composed verses of Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. For now, he said Jaya Jaya verses. Now he's going to compose beautiful verses in glorification of the Lord after he received the touch of the Lord's hand on his head and touch of the Lord's lotus feet on his heart. That will be from 122 onwards for the next week on Monday. Now, I promised I will show Chaitanya Charitamrita for comparison, right? Two things we are going to see. One is the number of verses composed by Chaitanya, by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The number of explanations given to the Atma Rama verse by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you all guessed that correct. We'll also see how much explanation Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave for the Atma Rama verse in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We will also compare the six-armed form given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Those are two exercises I wanted to do. Quickly, in 10 minutes, we'll do that and we'll wind up. Okay, here we go. This is the Atmarama verse. Here, the Bhattacharya explained the Atma Rama verse in 9 different ways. I think Mataji, Chinmay Mataji said 9 different ways. So the Bhattacharya explained the Atma Rama verse in 9 different ways according to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and 13 different ways according to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Then later, we see that upon the request of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya began to explain the verse. And how many different ways? You all know the answer already. in 18 different ways. That should be given here. In 18 different ways. Lord Chaitanya took each word, this is the verse. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took each word specifically and combined it with the Atma Rama. Thus, he explained the word Atma Rama in 18 different ways. And as you all know, later, 61 different ways he explained. 18 is also a small number. You see, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sarabhama Bhattacharya was so bewildered, thinking, can a human being give more than 13 different meanings? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did 18 different meanings, and that itself was bewildering. And imagine this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is going to later teach 61 different meanings to Sanatana Goswami. So this is the power of the Lord. And we all have imagine our fortune. Here, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is like no human being can compose or even decipher more than 13 different meanings. And here, very easily, in our Chaitanya Charitamrita, we useless people, we are getting 81 different meanings for an Atma Rama verse. How much mercy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to us. It is unfathomable. Anyway, that was one thing I wanted to point out, a comparison between Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then later, the beautiful six-armed form. So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mentioned, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first showed him the four-armed form of Vishnu and then appeared before him in his original form as Krishna with blackish complexion and flute to his lips. Okay? And when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw the form of Krishna manifested in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately fell down and paid obeisances. He stood up with folded hands and began to offer prayers. So this part, offering prayers, that we will cover in the next class from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Okay? So with that, I'd like to stop here. And if you have any questions, comments, realizations, you can go ahead. But I am also planning to leave early today.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Priti Mataji. Thank you for a very, very beautiful class and for explaining all the verses so beautifully and in such depth as always, and for a very interactive class, and for sharing so many beautiful quotes, verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. So much mercy, Mataji. Sarma Bhattacharya got not only the blessings on his head, but Pad Padma on his chest as well. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead and share.
हरे कृष्णा एडवोकेट विलासिनी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद के लघुदेव की जय श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय एज यूजुअल वेरी इंस्पायरिंग क्लास मैं तो 3 बार सुनूंगी तभी पूरी तरह से समझ आएगा इतनी लास्ट बेस्ट स्टूडेंट हूँ माता जी आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन कैन आई आस्क माता जी वी कैन नॉट हियर यू राधे
Yes, Mataji.
हाँ माता जी ये जो श्री नवरात्रि चलती है शक्ति देवी की तो फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड हमारे घर में माता रानी की पूजा होती है और 8 का उपवास होता है नवमी को तो सब प्रसाद हम देते हैं तो माता जी अभी ही 1 हफ्ते पहले मेरे जेठानी इंडिया में है हर्षा भाभी वो भगवान के धाम में 9 डेज पहले एंटर हुए तो तब मैंने ऑफर करके श्री जगन्नाथ बलराम सुभद्रानी श्री गौर निताय आई गिव इट टू टेम्पल बट माता जी वो बोलते कि 1.25 महीने तक 1 month and 15 days you have to close the temple and कार्तिक month is coming माता जी and हमारे श्री राधा गोपीनाथ से सुना था कि मिनिमम 3 or 4 days पर फिर भी मैं कहीं भी गलत हूँ तो आप मुझे गाइड करना माता जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम
That's more than enough. Whatever you heard from Radha Gopinath temple is perfectly fine. And you don't need to not worship deities for a month or something. First of all, one relative died in a different land, totally not even in your house, somewhere else, first thing. Secondly, deity worship should never be stopped. If that person died in your own house, then depending on your family, Varna and Ashram, they say for certain number of days. that number of days, the deity worship should not be stopped. You can give your deities to your friends if you are not able to worship, if the death has happened in your own house. If you're not able to worship because of certain rules and regulations that occurs because of the death, you can give your deities to someone who can worship them. The deities should never ever be ignored. They should always be fed nicely and taken good care of. They are like people, Mataji. Sometimes, unfortunately, we think we can take deities for granted. It's not like that. They are like our children. Just like how much love and affection we give to our child, the same love and affection. Is it okay if we don't feed our child for 3 days just because we are tired? We don't do that, right? We immediately think, how can I feed my child? Like that, deity should be taken care of. That is the first point. But yes, if the death has occurred in your own house, then you can give your deities to a suitable caretaker who can take care of the deities for a week or 13 days, 12, 13 days. On the 13th day, you begin the puja, normal. Everything should revert to normal. It depends again on your varna ashram, on what your family circumstance and background is. I won't say it's only 12 days, 13 days. Completely depends on what your family tradition is. And if it is not in your house, it really doesn't matter. You can continue to perform daily worship. That's all. This is all I know. And if Radha Gopinath temple has told within 3 days you can open your altar, please do so. But in those 2 days, also ensure your deities are taken care of. That's my only request.
Yes, Mataji, I opened the temple, but offering prasadam in the kitchen, Sisi Radha Syam Sundar, Sisi Panchtattva and Srila Prabhupada. And second thing, 8th and 9th fasting, and we offer 12वां जो 13वां का खाना ऑफर करते हैं, बट हियर यहाँ पे रजा नहीं होती, माता जी ऑफ नहीं होता है. सो आई ऑफर बिफोर 2 days. आई डोंट नो that is also good or not. So give a prasad to all Vaishnava and Brahmana, पर पता नहीं है कि सही किया कि नहीं.
Why not, Mataji? Please feed Vaishnavas. No problem. It's always good to feed Vaishnavas.
Yes, but घर के लोग नहीं मानते माता जी कि.
Okay, Mataji. We don't have to tell everything day by day what I did to them, right? You go ahead and give prasadam to them. There's no harm.
Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, for asking your question. Thank you, Vilasini Mataji, for answering so beautifully, so that can benefit all of us in the future as well. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, once again.
Thank you, Priti Vilasini Mataji, for beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I
Krishna,
have
Priti.
small question again. Please forgive me, devotee. नव दुर्गा का जो 8 and 9 days पे जो हमारे घर में चालू रहती है पूजा, तो that time we offer food to Sri Shyam Sundar. Is it okay? And then give it to Mata Rani.
Sure, Mataji. I think all the prasadam should always be Vishnu prasadam. Offer it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then whatever ritual you have to do, you can do.
Thank you, Radhe. And what?
Hi Krishna, Priti, Dandavat Pranam. Very beautiful class as always, and lot of facts and figures. I know you share always in all your classes. I just wanted to know, because I'm not too much of a facts person. You would give so many details regarding the Atmaram verse. So can you please give in a gist what the conclusion of the discussion of the Atmaram verse was? Because perhaps that's something I may remember. I don't know about the numbers. My memory is not that great. So I'll appreciate if you give me that a sense of what was discussed, that maybe I'll carry something, I'm hoping. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
As far as Chaitanya Bhagavata is concerned, the essence is not presented. But if we want to know the essence, we should go to 1710 purport, Srimad Bhagavatam 1710. And there, the entire essence of the Atma Rama verse, how the 81 different meanings are derived, is mentioned in great detail in one single purport. But if we feel that doesn't suffice, then we should go to the 81 explanations of the Atma Rama verse chapter that is there when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks to Sanatana Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the essence in one purport is 1710, just that purport. And it is a very good, Prabhupada has put in one entire chapter into one purport. It is a tremendous work Prabhupada has done. one full chapter's contents he has condensed into one purport. If you read that one purport, the essence of that explanation is there, but it is not presented in Chaitanya Bhagavat directly. Okay,
Oh,
Mataji.
Jai,
And
thank you so
no,
much. But I would like to listen from you. I will go
I
and
would
look up
just
the
read it.
purport. Yeah, so
Even
if
in
you
our
can share, your thoughts, realization, I'll appreciate that, Priti.
Mataji, how do I share the essence? The essence is that there are 81 different meanings by a combination of the words Atma, Rama, Munaya, Nirgranta, Api, Cha, Urukrama, Kurvanti, Ahaitukim, Bhaktim, Ittam, Bhuta, and so on. And for every word, like for example, for Atma, there are meanings like the absolute truth, the body, the mind, one's endeavor, one's intelligence, habits, endurance. Like this, there are so many meanings. For a Muni, there are different meanings, like one who's thoughtful, one who's brave, one who is a mendicant, one who's a sage, one who's a saint, like that, different meanings are there. Like that for Nirgranta, like that, he goes on for different meanings, and in permutation combination, he's able to extract 81 different meanings. But the essence, like if I have to say one word, what is the essence of the Atma Rama verse? That is presented as a one-liner in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's one of the verses that we read. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said directly, the essence of the Atma Rama verse is devotional service unto the Lord. That's what he said. That is verse number. I can point out that verse that we read today. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, tell me about the Atma Rama verse, the first two sentences he speaks is that the essence of the Atma Rama verse is nothing but it indicates devotional service unto the Lord is the understanding of the absolute. That's what he says. Mataji.
Jai, so sweet, Priti. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, like I understand there are so many meanings given and so many explanations for each of the words and things, but what is the thing they're trying to convey? But you so beautifully explained. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Ma-
Sukhsari Mataji, for beautiful question and for
Mataji, little
Yeah,
bit benefit about Sisi Kartik month, 2 minutes. If you are working, then next time.
Kartik month, Mataji. Kartik month, yeah, we do Bhakti on Kartik month. Why?
No,
Because
not basic one.
Mataji, I have put verse number 86, the essence of the Atmarama verse, Chaitanya Bhagavat. You can look at that. 89. Sarvabhauma Bhalena Shlokera Artha says Sakta Krishna Padi. That one. You can see that, Mataji. Yes, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Which one, Mataji?
Not basic one, Mataji. The हम तो वृंदावन धाम नहीं जा सकते, तो what we will do at home, basic by गोपीनाथ मर्सी लिटिल no, but
Yeah,
भी महात्मा थोड़ा समझाना.
we can chant and hear more, Mataji. The Kartik month is very auspicious. It is good to increase our chanting and hearing. You can hear about the Dham. So many people do virtual parikrama. You can hear virtual parikrama classes. You can chant more, you can read more, you can hear more, Mataji. Because whatever bhakti you're doing in the month of Kartik is doubled, tripled, quadrupled, multiple times. The benefit is very high. So we can encourage newcomers to take up to some process of devotional service. We welcome them to our homes and we ask them to offer a lamp to Damodar, which is considered very auspicious for people. See, for us, it's not a big deal. Every day we're offering lamp to the Lord. It's nothing new for us. But when a newcomer who has not offered does it, he acquires a lot of benefit. So that's why we have the Kartik programs, so that we can encourage a lot of people to take up to the limbs of devotional service. For ourselves, we can increase what we are doing. Whatever bhakti practices we are doing, reading, chanting, hearing, we can increase. Some people like to take up more austerities. That is optional. If you like to take up more austerities, you can take up. Whatever you can do for the again, all this is not for my pleasure. For the problem is the consciousness in which we are doing. Sometimes we do all this so that I can achieve something. If you're doing it, there's no use doing anything. The consciousness should be, if this is pleasing to Krishna, I will take it up voluntarily. If that is the consciousness, we can do anything. Otherwise, doing anything is absolutely useless. It goes to the trash. Yeah. So it's all about consciousness. If the consciousness is, this is pleasing to Krishna, it's not that I'm going to achieve something by this. If that is the consciousness, you can as well not do anything.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji. Koti koti dandavat pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Okay,
very
Vinay.
good. Okay, Mataji. Thank you once again for a very beautiful class and your wonderful association. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo Nanda Koti Vaishnav की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, हर ग्रंथ माता जी की जय।
Yes.